Hello, YouTube. So today I'm going to be reviewing the 1979 movie The Warriors, the famous cult classic based on the 1965 book of the same name by Saul Yurick. I don't think he wrote anything else. I was just saying so you would have a more clear picture in your head. It's kind of a bizarre movie, which makes sense. So cult classics are movies that might not have been so popular when they first came out, but might get a lot of notice on VHS or have a very small but dedicated following, say like The Big Lebowski or something. I think it had a pretty good return when it came out. I think it made like $18 million profit, which is pretty darn good. But I think it also has a very dedicated fan base, so doing pretty well for itself. But is the movie actually good / worth watching? Well, still gonna start off. I'm gonna blow my load a little early, or G version. I'm going to spoil my review and say, yes, I think it is worth watching. I don't usually like kind of beat 'em up action movies where there's like fighting people and then I'm just like, okay, cool, you can kick a guy, so can I, but I don't need to watch somebody do this, and there's no like real emotional connection for me. But the premise is really spectacular. So it's this gang, the Warriors, and they go to this big gang meeting. Yep, a gang meeting. All the gangs in New York go to this big meeting in Van Cortlandt Park, hosted by the Van Cortlandt Rangers. And so there's a bit of a kerfuffle, and the Warriors have to make it all the way back to Coney Island, which is where they're from. You can live there. Who knew? I had no idea. So they have to make their way back from the Bronx to Brooklyn, Coney Island, where they live, where all the other gang members are chasing them. This movie has a lot going for it. I mean, think of all the Halloween costumes. 20,000 gang members meet up in Van Cortlandt Park. They all have the most ridiculous costumes. So we got the Turnbull ACs from the Turnbull Bronx, the Turnbull. I don't know. I don't know my New York geography. I'm a DC, or is it DC? Damn it. DC. D again. DC. Or nope. You know, DC. We have our own hand signs, too. But anyways, nonetheless, we also got the Baseball Furies from Riverside, Manhattan, who wear Yankee-style face paint and carry bats menacingly as weapons. Then we also got the Hi-Hats from Soho, who are mime gangsters. It must be hard for them to get credibility. But at least they were invited to the consortium. I mean, a bunch of gangs, including the Orphans, who we also meet. I mean, the Orphans, like, really? That's not a very good gang name. They aren't even invited because they're too, like, low class. And their uniform is, like, a dirty shirt. With the word, like, orphans ironed on. It's very sad. So there's a gang consortium led by Cyrus, and he has a pretty stellar plan. And it is kind of bizarre, doesn't really make any sense. He's like, okay, so there are 20,000 gang members in New York, 10,000 police. I mean, like, well, think of all the things we can do. We can push over subway cars, we can push little old ladies down, we could rob bodegas, we can... just the possibilities are endless, really, when you have all those people. But it's kind of makes an assumption that the rest of the world looking at this would be like, oh, interesting, New York is under attack by a bunch of teenage gangsters. All right, well, sucks to suck, New York. I think that they'd call in the National Guard or something. There's also some really great lines in this movie, such as, I'll shove that bat up your ass and turn you into a popsicle. I mean, how can you argue with that? And then we have also another famous line by the lead member of the gang who's really out there to get the Warriors. He says, Warriors, come out and play, eh? Imagine there's bottles on my fingers. They're going clink, clink, clink. And that was used on a Wu-Tang Clan song, which I had no idea. It's on the song Shame on a N-Word, and it's like the last line, not the last line, but like the last verse by Old Dirty Bastard. Crews be acting like they gangs anyway. Be like warriors, come out and play, yay. I mean, that's cool. And then, the most famous perhaps, is Cyrus. After he presents his magnificent plan, arms outstretched, he's like, "Can you dig it?" So the characters are pretty distinct: Ajax, Swan, Fox, and they all have really good names. That's also a really big part of any good movie. But it's more just because it's a good story, and some interesting characters, great visuals, cool lines, and a great concept. Concept, perhaps the number one thing. This is the first review from my channel. Hoping to make these a weekly sort of thing. So keep on watching, YouTube homies. Bye. Stay tuned.